Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I want to talk about meal planning. Meal planning is one of those things that I started doing once I stayed home to save money, but even though I've gone back to work, it's something that I still incorporate to doing because it does help out the family with you know, keeping organized and also helping you with your money. Meal planning can save you a lot of money because you plan meals ahead and you don't, you know, buy food that you don't need to, you know, going out. And also it just, like I said, it keeps things organized so you know what to plan and you know what to take out ahead of time, you know what things you need to get. So I wanted to give you guys kind of like an overview of how I meal plan to maybe give you guys some ideas of how to meal plan of your own. Maybe you haven't started it, or maybe you have started it and you can get some ideas from me. So I just wanted to show you, kind of talk to you today about how I meal plan. So meal planning for me starts on Thursday nights. Thursday nights is our leftover night. So I always have one night a week, which is Thursdays, the night that we're gonna have leftovers. And that is because I want to get everything out of the refrigerator that, you know, the foods, the meals that we made. I want to get those out first before I plan any new meals. So Thursday nights, I always have a leftover night because I want to clear out the refrigerator. So Fridays are the days that I menu plan. When I was staying home with the kids, it was just one of those days that I did on Fridays because, like I said, I had leftover night Thursday, and Fridays was just, you know, the next day. So that's why I menu plan. But now that I have gone back to work, it helps me because, you know, I don't have to go to work on Saturday. So if I have to stay up late to do it, I have time to do it. I have more time to menu plan that day, even though I go to work. So on Fridays, since the night before we eat all the leftovers out of the fridge, on Fridays, I start with everything fresh. I go through my refrigerator and see what meals I can make with my refrigerator. And I also go over and look over my, my pantry inventory list and my freezer inventory list. I coupon, so I keep lists of things that I have in my freezer. I have a deep freezer and a regular freezer, you know, that goes with the refrigerator. And I also have a big walk-in pantry. So because I coupon and I get things on sale at good prices and I tend to stock up on them, I want to keep an inventory of what the stuff that I have because it's so much, so that I don't, you know, waste food. I don't want it to expire and I want to be able to use it. So I've created two lists in Microsoft Word that I'm going to show you in just a minute, where I have, it's a pantry list and I put everything in my pantry, and I mark as soon as every time I come from the grocery store, I mark down what I have. The same thing with my freezer, I mark everything down. So the first thing I do after I check the refrigerator, because like I said, on Thursday night we clean out the refrigerator for leftovers, I check the refrigerator first to see if there's anything that I can make with meals there. And then I check my pantry list and my freezer list, which I'm going to show you right now how I have it. So this is my planning binder, and within my planning binder I have a tab for menu planning. And in my menu planning section is where I keep my pantry inventory and my freezer inventory. Now I told you I created these sheets in Microsoft Word, and I just made them to where I can list all the things that I have in my freezer, all the things I have in my pantry, and then I could list how many things I had. Now what I did with these sheets was I laminated them, so they're actually laminated so that I could write on them. And I wrote basically what I had that I know I'll keep buying all the time in Sharpie so that it stays permanent. And then I write the quantities of what I have in dry erase markers so that I can erase them. Now there might be times where I make a mistake with the Sharpie, but even a great tip to correct a Sharpie mistake, if I wrote something I didn't want to write, if you write over it with dry erase marker and then erase it, it erases. So that's a tip right there. So basically this is my pantry inventory front and back, and then this is my freezer inventory front and back. And this is how it looks printed out by itself. I'm trying to figure out a way of how I can make them printable for you guys to print them out yourself. I haven't figured that out yet, but when I do, I'll have it available on my blog so you guys can print these out if you would like. But basically, when I come home from the grocery store, as I take things out, I mark how much I have of whatever it is. And then I just do that as I go. And I know that may seem like it takes too much when you're trying to put away groceries, but it actually helps out in the long run. So as I come home and I'm taking out my groceries, I'll just find them on the list, whatever it is, and I'll put the quantities, or I'll change the quantities. Maybe I have 1 right now, and then I'll erase it and I'll put like 2 if I bought some more. So that's what I would do. So then when I go for menu planning, I look in here first and see what I have and what can I make, what can I make meals out of the things I have. Once I do menu plan, if I pull something from this list, like let's say I pulled, the chicken quarters, I will take the 2 and I'll put it as a 1 once I put it in my menu planning, so that I know that I'm using it, so that I will keep the inventory correctly. So that's what I go in here and I'll see what I have so I can make meals first before I have to shop. And within this little tab, I also have a sheet for breakfast ideas that I made in Microsoft Word, lunch ideas, and dinner ideas. So when I get stumped, I look at these, and the breakfast ideas is empty right now because I haven't filled it up, because my kids are very they're very like plain. They like the same breakfasts, but now they're starting to try new things. So I'll be filling this out more. But I have lunch ideas for when I pack their lunches and for when they're at home. And then I have dinner ideas, and I put here their favorite meals. So if I'm ever stumped, I know a certain meal that the kids and the hubby love. I go on this, and I still have room to add more, and it's front and back. Also, I have crock pot ideas because there's days where I just want to have the Sundays is crock pot meals. And I have the Taco Tuesdays because, we have Tuesdays, I need an idea for a meal for Taco Tuesday. So that's what I have in this. And also on the back, I do menu plan for the week. But because I do coupons, sometimes I can menu plan for the whole month. So I have a sheet that I printed out. I created Microsoft Word again. And I printed out and I put it in here. And I can write out my menus for the whole month. So from here to here in the back, it fills up a whole month. So here's one that I've had filled up, and this is how it looks plain. But usually I menu plan for the week, but if I do have enough meals that can last me longer, I use the monthly menu planner and I fill these out. And I like to keep the old ones here because that way I can refer back to what I've made. So all my old ones always stay back here so I can refer back to it. Now this is in my planner my agenda section of my planner binder, and this is basically my weekly planner that I also created in Microsoft Word. I don't buy planners at the store, and I don't buy the ones that people pre-make because they never fit to my needs. So I just created my own on Microsoft Word, and this is how it looks. And so I made it my own, and this is my weekly sheet for my planner. And within it, I have, at the bottom of it, I have menus. So I have a space for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and if there's like a special dessert. But I have it out here for the 7 days of the week. So when I plan my meals out for the week, I write them in here in my planner because I like to coincide with them with the events that I have. Just in case, like let's say we have a soccer practice or a place to go to, I know what meal to plan out for that day to go with the event. So when I do my weekly planning menu, I plan it out and I write it in here first, and I plan it by what we have going on that week. Now after I plan my meals and written it out here in my weekly planner, I then put it in our Family Command Center so that everybody can see what's going on, and I will show you right now how that looks. So this is my weekly menu that I have in my Family Command Center that you might have seen when you see my Family Command Center video. And I like, after I plan my meals and I put it in my planner, I like to write it out and put it in here for my whole family to see in our Family Command Center, because it helps out letting everybody know what's for dinner, what's for breakfast that week, and also it helps with the girls' chores because they prep their lunches the night before, and so it helps them know if they have to pack a lunch or if they have school lunch that day, what to pack. So I like to keep things up here so that they know. Also for me, it helps me out with dinner because I know what meat I need to take out the day before. So this is my weekly menu, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how I categorize my my days. So to make menu planning easy, I kind of make categories for different days. On Sundays, I always make a crock pot meal because Sundays are the days that I prep for the rest of the week because I work and I have Saturdays and Sundays off. So Sundays is the day that I prep the meals and, you know, do hair, prep the girl stuff for the week. And I just need something that I could throw in the crock pot and it cooks all day and I don't have to worry about it. So I always choose a crock pot meal for Sunday. Now Monday is, I call it my make it, bake it Monday. I always have a meal that I could put in the oven so that I could prep it the day before, make it, put it in a baking dish the day before, and then on Monday, it's ready to go in the oven. So it's always, I always have a dish that can go in the oven because it's for my make it, bake it Monday. Tuesdays, I call it Taco Tuesdays because I will choose like a Spanish meal, whether it's Mexican pizza, Spanish rice, any type of Spanish food, I make that day because we love so many Spanish cuisines. I'm Puerto Rican and I love making Puerto Rican food. I love making Mexican food. I love making Dominican food, everything. So we always have a Spanish dish to make. So I just decided Tuesdays would be called Taco Tuesdays and it'll be a day that we'll always have a Spanish meal. Now Wednesday is breakfast for dinner night. My kids love this night because everybody loves breakfast for dinner night. And I don't mean Pop-Tarts and cereal or anything like that. No, when we have breakfast for dinner night, we have a big meal. And it will be like, you know, pancakes, bacon, and eggs and fruit. So it'll be a big, you know, breakfast meal that will fill us up. So Wednesdays is always breakfast for dinner night. Thursdays is my leftover nights, which I told you. I like to clear out my refrigerator, make sure that I get out any food that we didn't eat before I waste money and waste food to buy, you know, to make new meals when we've had leftovers in the refrigerator. So Thursdays is always leftover night. Fridays is always finger food Fridays. We have our family movie night that night and it's a time where at the end of the week I just want to spend time with my family in front, you know, watch a movie. So I always make a meal that is like a finger food that we can eat in front of the TV so that it's just easy for us. Saturdays, because I'm home, I don't work, it's a time where I could try out new meals. I love to cook. So it's a day where I can find a new recipe on Pinterest or one of my cookbooks and I will try out and I'll make a new meal. So Saturdays is my day to try a new recipe because I have more time. So that's how I categorize my dinners. I always have a certain day so that it's easy to plan. For breakfasts, I do the same thing. I always categorize them. Every day is a certain thing so they don't get tired of it. I always make some type of baked good on Sundays because I have time. And the good thing about baking something like blueberries or a cheese Danish, it also is a dessert as well. So I freeze some for the kids for snack. I tend to have cereal for Mondays and Fridays because it's the beginning of the week and the end of the week, so they can have cereal. They love matzo meal. We always do that on Tuesdays. Wednesdays is waffle Wednesdays. And then Thursdays, I always have whatever we had the night before for breakfast for dinner. I double the batch so that I can have it that morning for Thursday. So whatever we have for breakfast for dinner night on Wednesday, like I said, I double it so that we can have breakfast on Thursday. Breakfast is done. I don't have to think about it. And Saturdays, of course, Saturday always ends up being pancakes for Saturdays because, like I said, I don't work that day. I could take my time and make a big breakfast. So they always get a big breakfast on Wednesday for you know, dinner night, and then they have one on Saturday. As far as the lunches, the way I plan out their lunches, I go by the school menu. My kids have it to where they get free breakfast and lunch. They provide that for everybody. And so I'll go by the school menu. If it's something I know they'll eat, then they will have school lunch that day. Like Monday they had school lunch, they had chicken nuggets because I know they'll eat the chicken nuggets at the school. Or the corn dogs or the pizza, they love it. And the chicken patties. Friday, the school lunch, I forgot what it was, but I knew they wouldn't eat it. So that day I had them pack their lunch, they packed their lunch and they made sandwiches. So this helps out because the night before they know they have to pack their lunch and make sandwiches. And then always on the weekends they have SpaghettiOs or ramen or grilled cheese, something, you know, simple on the weekends that I can make for them. So that's how I plan out my meals. I categorize them. And so I have a system of every day is a certain thing. So when I go to plan it, it's very simple and very fast and easy to plan because I categorize days and I try to make it different so they don't get tired of the same thing for breakfast. So that's how I menu plan, and this is the menu planner that goes in our command center, which if you haven't seen that video, I will put the link in the description box below to go see the family command center video where you will see this weekly menu planner. So that is how I meal plan, you guys. It's really simple. After I got in the hang of doing it so much, I just do it easily now. I know menu planning can seem like a big task and it's gonna take forever, and until you get the, I ain't gonna lie, until you get the flow of things and figure out a system, it might be tedious. But once you figure out a system of how you're gonna have things and start doing it so many times, it'll help you out. I mean, I'm still able to do it working, and it helps me out. Just, you know, having my list of my pantry list of knowing what I have, listing, you know, having different days you know, of the week being in certain categories, so that I know, okay, you know, that day I'm just gonna make a meal, you know, in this category for that day. And then also having, like, you know, a list of ideas, it helps out a lot. And so, you know, when you start meal planning, you don't have to plan for a month. You know, sometimes, you know, I do mostly for the week. But like I said, I only do it for the month if I have a big stockpile and I have things in my refrigerator that I can make meals for a whole month, and I'll plan it out. Like after holiday parties and stuff like that, I try to use the turkey or the ham or whatever the meat is and stretch it out. Or if I stocked up on something like meat or anything that I need to use within a certain amount of time, then I'll be able to plan a whole, you know, month's worth of meals. But I mean, most of the time I just plan week by week, and that's fine, and it helps out a lot. And you'll see that you waste less food when you have a list of stuff in your pantry or when you're doing meal planning, and you'll save so much money doing that. And even though I know it can be tedious and you think it takes a long time to do, once you get in a system, it really can go really, really fast, and it'll just help you out so much. So I can't go back from, you know, meal planning. I went this past year, I kind of like didn't do meal planning for a while, and we wasted so much money. So regardless if I'm at home or if I'm working, I'm always going to meal plan. So anyways, I hope I gave you some ideas to help you with your family and meal planning, or give you ideas of your own to, you know, start meal planning, or maybe incorporate it into your system. If you have any other ideas of meal planning that I didn't list in my video, please put a comment down below. I love to read everybody else's advice and ideas, because it gives me so many ideas for me, or ideas, you know, if it doesn't, you know, if it won't work for me, at least someone else who's reading it, it might work for. So please leave a comment and let me know your ideas on meal planning, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.